as we settle into the space, as we enter that fertile void, a space of no thing and everything all at the same time, I ask that you keep an open mind and an open heart with an element of responsiveness rather than reactivity. Become the witness over the observer. Because everything we're about to move through will require us to work from a space of neutrality. This beauty of the ebb and flow. The opportunity to show us what flow really feels like. It is all connected. There are these moments in our lives when we feel like we're in the eye of the storm, where we have these moments of anger, of sadness, of rage. We have these moments of grief, whatever that looks like to you. But there are these moments when we are one drop in that still ocean. That one drop. We are both positive and negative and everything in between, those poles of duality. And when we come to understand this, this is when we step into our own divine worth. We're going to embrace a journey of the past today. Everything we have, everything we have been up until this moment, everything we are, and everything we will be. So I ask that you settle in and settle down. And let's begin to bring in your breath. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose only. It is important that you are seen and you are heard from a neutral space. But what is not welcome in this space is judgment. Shame and guilt for the things seen and unseen. This is the space to heal. And we will expand into that. We are here and the timing is divinely perfect. So make this commitment and an agreement with only the self to fully receive this healing. Because you're about to step into a new frequency. You're about to step back to yourself and back to your birthright. So let's begin to claim your space. In this room, in this container, in your home, in your community, and in your world. Take a deep breath in and exhale with a sigh. And I invite you to soften down and close your eyes and bring in your breath. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth with an audible sigh. And I'd like you to take as many of these cleansing breaths as you need to. With each breath going a little deeper, filling up your lungs and exhaling fully. And again, this time going into the belly, filling the muscles, the cells, widening and expanding with each breath. Allow every cycle of that breath to lengthen and to soften, giving your body permission to rest and relax. And as you begin to soften, I want you to bring focus and attention to that breath. As it begins to lengthen, feel into your spine. Feel that breath through the top of your head and the bottoms of your feet. How the lungs begin to fill and expand on the inhale, and how they lighten and sink on the exhale. The ebb and flow of that breath. Rising and falling like gentle waves in the ocean. Simply ebbing and flowing in this beautiful rhythm. This rhythm is always within the body. Every moment of the day we have the rhythm of the breath and the rhythm of the heart. The two things we can count on, the heart and the breath. The aspect of divinity. Feel into your breath and feel into the beat of your heart. And let's begin to call in the energies and the frequency of the Divine Mother and the Divine Father, the sun and the moon, the earth and the sky. To begin to call in the frequency of love, the frequency of the rose, and allow that to land into your heart. Take a nice deep breath in, sigh out the mouth. Give yourself full permission to receive. Know that there's nothing you need to do. There's nowhere you need to be. There's no validation needed. Feel that softness of any shifts that are coming in. Notice any deep sense of calming washing over you. As you begin to receive all that is for you. Allowing yourself to stay neutral. And at this time, I'm going to call forward any blocks, any barriers, any protection mechanisms, any nervousness, any anxiety, anything at all that may be seen or interpreted as negative. And let's start by acknowledging it. And let's ask the body to begin the process of removing it, barriers down, barriers down, barriers down. On all levels, all layers, and all lifetimes, barriers down. And take a nice deep breath in, exhaling with a sigh. And next, I want you to bring focus into the center of your chest, into that heart space. Allow that breath to land. And ask the heart if it gives permission to be healed by its own energy. And ask the heart if it can communicate with you. Ask the heart to reconnect the two bridges, the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems. Allow them to come online. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale with a sigh. Spirit and I are one, and we work together as a team. It is my intention to be a clear and neutral channel for the high self and for your spirit today. And how long will it take me to work? Thank you. How long will it take prep my high self to work? Thank you. And how long will it take to prep this group to work? The group with the toolbox. And thank you. Do I have permission to work in this field? The answer is yes. So barriers down, barriers down, barriers down. On all levels, all layers, and all lifetimes, barriers down. Take a nice deep breath and exhale with a sigh. Please clear and remove any and all blocking programs, any openings, any interferences and negative energy. Permanently seal all openings, cracks, portals, and fill with love and golden light. Please remove any links in your high self community chains, and please clear, remove, elevate, and educate all your spiritual committees, including the high self, to the highest level of consciousness. Please reassign any and all committee members who are not ready, willing, and able to support you 100% positive and 0% negative change. And please update and download all your spiritual committees with new education, knowledge, truth, wisdom, understanding, light, and the potentials in one universe, as well as the entire star system. Provide them with the intellect required to clear all negative programming and establish them with a new plan that's based on everything positive. Please reduce the size of your spiritual committees to the minimum size for the maximum effect, clearing all bodies of negative programming and reducing all portals and gateways down to one. Please clear all your spiritual committees serving of any and all programs that you created with your spirit, including replications, mirroring images, and rebuilding. And please reduce my ego to the minimum level required to facilitate this clearing, more than 0 and not to exceed 3%. Suspend all judgment and keep us 100% neutral. Please clear and remove any extra souls, any addictions to extra souls, and set up a triple shield of protection around each and every one of us, our spiritual committees, as well as anybody else in the vicinity that may be affected by the energy of this clearing. And thank you. Is that done? Yes. And is this group clear to work? Yes. Am I prepped to work? Yes. And where are we going? First, we're going into a real-time clearing. Within this real-time clearing, I'm going to ask that anything and everything to be cleared for us as a collective as well as an individual clearing. And as this clearing is moving to you and through you, I'm going to ask that we clear any of your default programs, any distractions, any excuses, any protection mechanisms, any arguments for your own limitation, as well as remove any death programming that would keep you from taking a quantum leap forward so that you can recognize your own worth, so that you can remember your worth and you can reclaim it and do so from a place of sovereignty, of empowerment, of liberation, and of freedom. And the highest frequency possible, the frequency of love. And thank you. Is that done? Yes. And where do we go first? We're going into purpose. Is an energy a program? It's a program. And can it be cleared without research at this time? The answer is no. So we're going to go into the Akashic records, the records of your spirit. And when was this established? It was established in the womb. And does this program have past life roots? Yes. And who are the characters in this program? There's 2 characters in this program. And the first character is a daughter. And the second character is a mother. And what type of daughter was she? She was an only child. And what type of mother was she? She was a mother of a family. And who were we in this lifetime? We were the mother. And was there hurt or harm? Yes. The daughter was harmed at the hands of the mother. And what type of harm was there? Mental, emotional, spiritual, or all 3? It was an emotional harm which resulted in an emotional death. And I'm hearing the word responsibility. So do we need to collect the energies of this? And the energies are unworthiness, unforgiveness, violence, separation, self-punishment, spiritual suicide, judgment, intolerance, frustration, resentment, rejection, insanity, fear, self-limitations, clearing. So please clear these energies out, root, trunk, and seed. Clear them out of all levels, all layers, all minds, all fields, all compartments. Clear them out of all your spiritual committees, right back to the heart of your spirit. And as these energies begin to clear out, I'm going to ask that we clear and replace and open you up to a greater and new sense of worthiness. The forgiveness of self, the forgiveness of others, but open you up to saneness, to oneness, to limitlessness, to positivity, and to belonging. So the message here, this is a clearing around your lineage. You're going to see this within you, within your siblings, within your children, within your grandparents, within your parents, and your grandchildren if you have them. This aspect of this lineage is a generational. It's carried for a long time, generation after generation after generation. And you maybe on one side or the other, the mother or the daughter, it really doesn't matter because the experience is still there. But what I'm seeing and feeling today is the experience of the mother. A heavy burden of being responsible. Responsible for others, for the daughter, as daughters, towards the daughters. And what this lifetime is bringing forward is the role of the mother was so great. From the desire to want to protect ourselves. And in order to protect ourselves, it was far easier just to shut down. Shut down our light, to shut down hers as our daughters, to shut down what was sacred and what was holy. To shut down this divinity. Because if it's brought into this world and shown and shared, what would the rest of the world do with it? Something of the purest and highest light that has this great potential. So out of self-preservation, we carried this through lifetimes, through the lineages, through the tradition of shutting ourselves down at the expense of others. Dimming our own light was the only way we could earn or prove our way through this life. In all ways within that family line, through the maternal side and the women of the paternal side. The only way to shift this is to bring this energy forward and allow it to alchemize and shift and destroy it on every level, every layer, and every lifetime. So before we move on, I invite you to call into the space whether you see, feel. Bring forward all the women in your lineage on both sides. All of those that came before you. All of those that are here now, and all of those that will come after you. Allow them to energetically surround you, creating a sacred circle. While you stand in the middle, being the fire. That flame that ignites this evolution. And speaking to your lineage, say to them, I see you, I accept you, and I forgive you for all the real and perceived hurts, those betrayals, those wrongdoings, those abuses, those transgressions in this lifetime and all others. I forgive you. Please forgive me. And your lineage is receiving this and fully accepting it. And in return, they turn and look at you and they respond, acknowledging you and your presence. And they say to you, I see you, I accept you, and I forgive you for all the real and perceived hurts, the betrayals, the wrongdoings, the abuses, the transgressions in this lifetime and all others. Please forgive me. Give yourself full permission to fully receive this. And notice how they begin to shift. They shift from that circle and they begin to form a line standing in front of you. And for the next few minutes, you move toward each other one at a time. And you cross through each other like ghosts in the night. And when you cross through each woman, you will recall all of the parts they are holding of yours. And you return to them all of the parts that belong to them. Take your time, there's no rush. And as this begins to complete, thank them. Thank them for their guidance, the willingness to help you heal your lineage. All those oaths, those contracts, any black magic, curses, swearing, faulty commitments, any bindings, bondings, commodities that any of you have made or have been stuck to each other based on any of these commitments is rescinded, revoked, and renounced. Let that work through you across all spaces, all dimensions, and all realities. As you take a nice deep breath in and begin to release everyone that showed up for you today. And know that this particular program, this ancestral wounding, is now collapsed and being cleared for everyone at this time, up and down your lineage. As you allow any energies to melt into the energetic field, only to be used as information that you can access at any time, without thought, without feeling, without emotions attached to it. And take a moment and tap into your body. Notice how you feel. Shift and move if you need to. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, sigh. Thank you. Is that done? Yes. And where are we going next? We're going into a blocks. Blocks to the ascension is the purpose. So please clear and remove any and all blocks, root, trunk, and seed. To ascension is the purpose. It is the purpose, and it is our purpose. Clearing out of the minds, the bodies, the fields, all the compartments. Clearing out of all your spiritual committees, right back to the heart of your spirit. We're going to clear this out so that we can remember that our spirits are educated. And as we learn what we learn in this realm, we are to return to spirit with full knowledge, full wisdom, and understanding of our own creative abilities, so that that may be projected and created into the future. And as this program that was blocked around purpose is clearing, I'm going to replace the empty spaces with an absolute knowing that our purpose for each of us is ascension. And thank you. Is that done? Yes. And where are we going next? We're going into the councils of 9. So the councils of 9 is this old program that frees the spirit from its confines, its bondages, and its shackles, or anything else by any other name. So please clear any blocks that we may have to the councils of 9 in this one universe. Clearing out of all bodies, all levels, all layers, all lifetimes, clear it out, root, trunk, and seed. Clear out all the councils of 7 as well as the councils of 9, because this is an important process of the universe. Because they are responsible for creating foundations of experience, formations of experience. They're in this ring or network that sends and receives these signals, so that we may find balance and neutrality within this hub and within our own networks. And thank you. Is that done? Yes. And where are we going next? We're going into mop-up. So please clear 100% of the items on the mop-up list, including all the stats. And I'm going to invite you now to deepen into the breath and come back into the body. And thank you. Is that done? And what percentage of the items on the mop-up list have been complete? We're at 100%. Has brain restructuring been complete? Yes. And all pre-programmed illnesses, Alzheimer's, dementia been cleared? Yes. And does this soul agree that it's been cleared? Yes. And my high self and your high self, are we in agreement that this has been cleared? Yes. And are there any other programs coming up at this time to be cleared? And the answer is no. And are we as a collective cleared to the highest level of consciousness? The answer is yes. And what percentage of accuracy? We're at 100%. Thank you. And at this point, I'd like to call in the angels of light. Call forth our guidance teams, our soul family, our ancestors, our star family. I welcome them in to assist and support you in divine timing for ourselves and for each other. And take a nice inhale and exhale with a sigh. And at this time, I'd like to call you fully back as you gently awaken your body, coming back to your senses, the room around you, the space. Begin to notice how you feel.